The following episode may contain sensitive content. Listener discretion is advised.
Touch me. She said she can touch me.
My favorite thing to do.
How are you doing? How was the drive? Tell us everything.
Well, we're here in Orlando.
We are.
And we're here for Nikki's birthday.
Woo woo, turning 25.
Forever.
Hello.
Forever 25. Very excited. So yes, I drove down from South Carolina, and it's right after Hurricane Milton. Mm-hmm. So traffic was a little bad, but not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I expected it because you figure people had evacuated, so they're going to be coming back down to Florida to check out the damage and see how everything is. Yeah. Today is Friday. So.
Or people that just left, because of the hurricane.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Keep going.
But yeah, other than that, it was fine. It was good.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, you drove down yesterday.
We drove down yesterday. It was like ghost town everywhere.
So
it was
scary.
Like
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, but it was also we never experienced no traffic because Miami's kind of nuts with traffic. So it was really nice to just drive up here, 3 hours and a half, no traffic. The streets were clean because I guess everyone was scared, So
right, I get it.
It just felt really, really nice that we didn't I think we stopped to pee and that was it. It wasn't we gotta get something to eat. We've been on the road for so long. It was so nice. We were let's just go. We left at 2:40 or 2:45. We were here by 6:10.
Nice.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
It was so nice. Recommended. But after the hurricane, not before. Don't be stupid.
Yes. Safety first.
But I think we should introduce ourselves.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Whoopsie.
Yep.
Welcome to the show Must Go On.
I'm Tracy.
And I am Nikki.
Even together.
Yes.
Even together.
Even in person, we forget. We're so excited to be recording our first episode in person. I was actually looking forward to it because I kept thinking also sometimes because it's through Zoom call and stuff like that, I was I can't get the reaction right away. I get it half a second later. And I was
Right.
The half a second feels 10 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Or if there's a glitch,
Yes.
sometimes our Wi-Fi can be kind of spotty.
Yeah. And I'm it's fine. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're theater people.
Yeah.
So.
The show must go on.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
I was gonna tell you that I watched over the weekend because my boyfriend had not watched it yet. Interview with the Vampire.
The new one on, what is it, Showtime or Stars?
No, the original movie.
Oh!
From 1994 is when it came out.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and Trey hadn't seen it. So I was this is a classic.
Yeah.
You need to, and I think I hadn't seen it in 20 years. So it was so nice to rewatch it and see like Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt so young, Kristen Dunst, like
babies,
babies, Antonio Banderas, everyone, and everyone did such a good job. What a like interesting, angle to vampires.
I think like that is the type of vampire stuff that is good to me. Because then we got into like the Twilight era, and it just got too cheesy.
Twilight era was a mistake,
but it kept going.
It kept going for like 3 books, and I remember reading the first one and thinking like, it's good, it's not bad, the book. But then the cast, I was like, this just really damaged the whole thing. Listen, Kristen Stewart has come a long way.
I mean, oh my gosh.
She has come a long way. But that role, that nervousness, I'm like, girl, get it together. Also, in the book, she wasn't like that.
I didn't love Bella's character in the books, though. Like, I found her to be very weak.
Yes, but she wasn't that weak.
She wasn't, like, shaking and
yeah, what was that about?
That was definitely a character choice, for sure.
100%.
Yeah. I guess maybe she didn't know how to act around men.
Maybe.
Since she's a lesbian now, right?
Yeah. I also think that was like her second job or some shit like that. Actually, no, she was in Panic Room when she was really little.
That's true. But this is probably going to be like the
biggest break.
Yeah. It's a franchise. Like the books had done really well. So I don't know. Maybe it was like the pressure of it, and she was just trying too hard.
Yeah. I think so. Wait, how did we end up in this conversation?
We're talking about vampires.
Oh, right. Yes. Shit.
You mean us and our tangents?
I'm like, wait. Well, so yeah, we watched Interview with the Vampire, and it was fucking great. And what a great plot and what a great storyline. Every actor did their job, and it was just really. And I can't believe I chose to watch it over the weekend. We were like looking at options, and I said like, "You haven't seen that?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "No, what is it?" And I'm like, "This is a classic." And when I started saying the people that were in it, he's like, "Wait, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch it right now."
Yeah,
it was really, really good. Let me see. Did I watch anything else? I don't think so. There's, the tickets for Wicked are on sale now. They're out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have not bought mine yet because I'm playing it safe because Miami doesn't have like a big musical theater audience. So
yeah,
but I'm definitely gonna see it when it comes out.
For
right
sure.
away.
Yeah. Thanksgiving weekend.
It looks really, really good.
It does look really good. I'm bummed that it's 2 parts and we're gonna have to wait like a year for the next part. I'm so impatient.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're gonna give us like a teaser.
I hope
at the
so.
end of it.
Because I would think all of it's filmed already, right?
Oh yeah, I think they're done filming. Yeah. Hopefully. Anything like? Do you watch anything interesting aside of what we're discussing today?
I mean, I wouldn't say interesting, but I have now begun watching the next season of Love is Blind.
Oh God.
I don't know why I do it.
You and Trey.
I think
I'm like,
because
don't tell me you're watching that again. It's like, it's so good.
But it makes me feel better about myself, I think, because I'm terrible seeing these people be like, I'm so in love, and then a month later, just breaking it off and being like, I hate this person. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
I'm just so jaded and bitter.
Yeah.
So.
No, I it's just so unrealistic too. It's reality show.
9 days after meeting someone and you're getting engaged.
No.
And you're in love. And you haven't seen that. I'm sorry, but looks matter. How they act in certain situations matter. I mean, let's say you go on a date with someone and you do the traditional, like, let's go grab something and eat. Mm-hmm. To me, simple things of, do they hold the door open for you? Mm-hmm. Are they nice to people who work in customer service? That's a huge one for me.
Yeah.
Like, if they're nasty to the waiter, I'm out.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's major ick. right there.
1,000%. So gross.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, I have to go to the bathroom, and I just
Oh God.
get it, cut loose, get out. So just things like that. Do they chew with their mouth open?
Oh God.
Like, mwah, mwah,
Can you
mwah.
imagine?
Yeah, like brothers and sisters. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, no, I'm out. So just little things like that for me make a difference.
Yeah.
So
Listen, thing is, Love is Blind. Like you're like embarrassed by it, but it's like 90% of population watch that shit.
so many people
You
watch
know,
it.
I am the rare one that I like. And listen, some seasons at the end I get into it because like Trey has to be playing back to back, and I'm like, okay, why is this person doing this? And he has to explain to me. But you know, it's the normal guilty pleasure. Everybody has it.
It is definitely
You know,
guilty.
my shit is like bullshit, like Dance Moms. You know,
It's a good one though. I did love Dance Moms. I watched it.
We're still watching. We're on season 4 now. It's good. Abby's fucking nuts, and it's like the more we watch it, it's like her method was horrible. We understood her goal, like what she wanted, but her as a teacher, oh God, no, none of them talk to her anymore. What does that say to you? And karma got her bad,
Like really bad.
yeah, like it came for her.
Yeah.
But none of those kids talk to her.
Well, she was pretty shitty to them.
Exactly.
I mean, you could be like tough, but in a loving way. Like the Pop Academy.
Yeah.
They were tough on them, but it was from a place of we want you to succeed.
Exactly. She says things to them in person, and then to the camera, they're like, oh, Chloe's a lovely girl. She's so talented. I just want her to be the best that she can be. And to Chloe, you're stupid. It's like, why don't you say that to her instead of the camera?
Right.
It's so upsetting, you know, because all these kids they're already talented. They're rare.
Yes.
They're a rare case.
They were all so good.
None of them dance anymore. No one. Maddie, if she gets
Priscilla.
like that, she gets a gig, yeah.
Yeah.
But like as a career, none of them.
They're traumatized.
There you go.
See, this is why we need to do it
Exactly.
together. Say things at the same time. I
Yeah.
do a Coke.
Yeah, literally. It's really sad, but it's such a good show. It's really like I can put my mind, you know, to rest while I'm watching it.
Right.
What else? What else can I tell you? I think that's pretty much it. Of like I want to say to the listeners, we apologize. I think there's somebody vacuuming.
Yeah. It's like background noise.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to take it off, but oh my god, it's so loud.
Well, at least they're cleaning now.
That's
a
true.
good sign.
That is important. Okay, so do we want to tell them what we're discussing today?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so I went in. I knew before we say it, I kind of knew the story of this because I want to say this was a remake.
Yes, it's a remake several times over, based off.
I knew it wasn't just one time. I'm like, this is
No.
probably like the third time that they do it.
Mhm.
And I know it's based on a book. I know you read the book. I have not read the book. So I try to go in blindly with it. So today we're discussing Salem's Lot. Speaking of vampires, great segue.
Yeah.
Which is it's based on Stephen King's novel, right?
Correct.
Salem's Lot. And Tracey just told us right now it's been done already.
Yes, several times.
More than once. So, you know, this one came out recently.
This one is like brand new. It came out on Max on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So
so it's perfect for spooky season, you know, especially for people like me that I'm like, oh, I just want to watch as many as possible this month. But let's get into it. Now that you read the book, you want to tell them a little bit like about the synopsis?
Sure. I mean, to be fair, like I read the book years ago, so I only remember like a little bit anyway. It honestly wasn't one of my favorites of his anyway, so I think I kind of was just like I read it and then it left my brain.
Yeah.
So I don't remember much about the book. But basically what it is it's this young man, his name is Ben Mears. He used to live in Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
He moved to New York, and now he's coming back. He's a writer, and he's going to do some research for a new book. And it's just sort of like what's happening in this town, because then there's this other guy, Barlow, and Straker, who move into this, like, spooky, dooky ooky house up at the top of the hill, and they're like, oh, who are the new people in town? And then people start dying and strange things start happening within the town.
Which, I don't know if you felt this. I don't know how long the book was.
Too long.
Too long. Okay, so, because I felt like the movie was rushed.
Okay.
You know, I was like, oh, you know, like there were like moments of that I was thinking the whole time. You know, I was like, oh, they could have like, you know, dragged this a little bit more. For example, the end, but also like the little kids. I feel like if I like looked away for a second and came back, these kids had a whole thing already. You know, I think there was like an argument outside at some point with another kid. Right. And I like went back and it was like a 20-second thing. Yeah. And it really didn't even matter. Right. They just wanted to show you the characters. So I was like, they could have done a better job, like,
I get it.
You know, having me care for them.
Right. Especially because it seems like a lot happened to them. Like they're very integral to the plot.
Yeah, like Ralphie and, you know, whatever the other kid was.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was like, oh, like, you know, why are we on a rush? Yeah. You know, I do like the actor that played, is it Barlow?
The one from Game of Thrones.
The one from Game of Thrones. The Greyjoy dude.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
His part was kind of short, which I was a little bummed about, because I do love him.
Yeah.
But I felt like he could have been a little more sinister. Because, like, it was there.
Yeah.
Especially with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, they're, like, walking along the road, and he stops, and he's sort of a creep. Like, I wanted more of that.
Yeah, it was such a short amount of time. That's what I'm saying. I was like, why was it rushed? It's like, I want to see why he wanted to kidnap them before. Right. You know, I was like, oh, he's just a creeper. Sure. You know? We also, like, watch a lot of things that are, like, really, really fucking bad, you know, that are horrible. So at this point, we're, like, expecting, you know, the worst of the worst, you know, because I do think, like, being eaten by a vampire is not as bad as, you know, what the Menendez brothers went through, you know, like, shit like that. So the whole time I was thinking, like, oh, like, he's probably gonna see them another day, and then he just kidnapped the kid. Right. So fast. Yeah. You know. Right. But whatever. At the end of the day, he was like kind of like a vessel for the actual vampire.
He was like his servant. I
guess.
A servant.
Yeah. Something. He would get them the victims, and because he just wanted Salem's Lot, which Salem is like short for Jerusalem, right? He just wanted like Salem's Lot to all be vampires, pretty much.
And then I guess from there they would go out to like surrounding towns and all that.
Yeah, and like spread their shit around.
Populate it so the vampires are like running the world or something.
Yes. Let's talk about like that introduction of like characters. I wanted to talk about the doctor.
Alfre Woodard.
That's her name?
Yes.
Okay. So I think she's an amazing actress. Listen, I think some of the acting was horrible. Yes. You know, I was like
the beginning for me. I was like
the doctor. You know, when they're at the crematorium or wherever.
Yeah, mortuary.
Yeah, somewhere. wherever they are.
More.
So I was looking, I was watching it, and I'm thinking the whole time, what's gonna happen is they're gonna wake up, and they're gonna be ready for it. But first, how do you fucking go there without the process ready?
Or something.
A Bible.
Prepared at all? Yeah.
Something. They just go, let's go find out. You had a whole ass drive. You could have stopped anywhere.
I think they didn't believe it.
Yeah, still.
I know. You go
Even if
prepare.
you don't believe, you prepare.
Yeah.
Maybe it's our anxious selves talking right now.
I
but
was
still.
also a Girl Scout.
There you go.
So that's their motto, is to be prepared.
For anything and everything, you know?
Yeah.
So they get there, and then first she gets bitten, and with a fucking rabies shot, he goes away. And why didn't they know that before? Because we could have saved many people.
That was kind of cheesy. I was like, how does a rabies
And
shot...
also, why is it taking you guys so long to react to this situation?
Right.
So basically, the leading character, well, I don't fucking remember his name. Ben and the girl,
Susan
is just like in La La Land, you know, just like, get this. Oh, the tape that
I know.
I was like, this is just bad.
That really made me mad when because what it is the little boy Ralphie, right?
Yeah.
He's taken as a sacrifice. Then his brother Danny or something, right? He's bitten, and then he obviously attacks his mom, right?
Yeah.
So they're visiting her body in the morgue, right?
Yes.
So she's there, like, on the slab, and they're just staring there, and then all of a sudden she's like, Danny! And then they're just, like, standing there.
And
nothing.
the one arm.
Yes, I know. And then when she, like, sits up.
They're just looking.
And the doctor says, get my case. And Susan's just like...
That whole scene
is like, bitch,
disaster. And I was so thinking, like, you know, because Stephen King is really good at being descriptive of every single thing.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe in the book, the build up to it was way better because you're going from character to character, you know, and then they didn't know how to portray it in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I read his books, and you know, I think he gets, like, I go in and I already have an image of everything because he has given me every detail. So when I was looking at that, I was like, well, maybe that was written better in the book because there was a lot of, like, gaps.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, how are you guys all staring? And she had one arm out. She started calling Danny. She called Danny like 4 times.
Are you there?
Before they fucking moved.
Yeah.
And
Honestly,
like,
I'd be out.
Oh, 100%.
I'm running out of there.
And also, like, why are you bringing this girly pop, Susan?
I don't know.
Why
Honestly,
is she coming?
I did not like her character.
But also, why is she coming? Isn't she like a realtor?
Yeah. Well, I guess she, like, knows the people of Salem's Lot. Like, she grew up there.
Oh my
and
God.
she thinks she knows everything.
Why? No, this is so unnecessary. And so many things happening, nobody called the cops. Ever.
Right. Well, the doctor does go to the sheriff at the end. And she's like, what are you
At
gonna
the
do?
end.
What are you going to do about
And he's
it?
running away, because I would have run away too.
I love that too, when it's like you have all this time that lapses, and then she's like, I'm gonna go see the sheriff, and he's like just walking out of his front door to get in his car and drive away as she's like walking up to the front door. Yeah. It's like perfect timing.
Yeah, it's like, oh honey, you waited way too long to call these people out.
Right.
You guys should have had crosses, like, rather than the fucking rifles already. Like,
I'd be calling the armed guards. I'd be like, let's get some military in here. Forget our like podunk sheriff's department.
Also, let's talk about, and Trey brought this up to me today, which is like a few days after we watched it. He's like, how is it
Oh gosh.
that they're in the middle of this disaster and they're about to tell people and they said, let's split up? You got 30 minutes
Till sundown.
to go somewhere and tell people that this is happening, then come back.
My thing too was that it was like it just had the sun had just risen. They went to talk to the Father Callahan. They go to the spooky house, and then it's 30 minutes to sundown.
What?
Like, what did you do all fucking day? You're talking to that priest?
The days were like an hour.
Yeah, I know. That was like, what?
And also, I wanted to talk about the fact that, because I was thinking about this too. So at some point, I don't know if you noticed this, it's like the vampires are coming out in the shade, but not when the sun is down.
Right.
I was like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, vampires come out when the sun is down.
Right.
Not when there's shade.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, when they're in the drive-in, the movie drive-in, they all come out because there's shade. And I was like, are they stupid?
Yeah.
And then the kid just like destroys the thing, and most of them burn. Which, by the way, he's the really bad actor, but he was the hero.
I liked his character because I thought he was the smartest one.
He was
he
great.
Took no shit.
Yes, yeah. The character, like writing that character was the best idea, you know. But the actor, you know, he's also a kid, so I can't be like, you know.
To me, he wasn't the worst.
But he isn't Dakota Fanning, you know. He isn't like this actresses that were
like
great
Haley Joel Osment
from
Sixth Sense.
That they were great since they were little,
right,
you know. But yeah, he fucking saved everyone's asses, and I kept thinking, like, are you all dumb that this kid is like solving the issues here?
You know what I love when you're talking about the shadows and stuff? When Susan goes to her house, and she's like, my mom, and they go to the house, right? And then now she's like the new Barlow because Mark, the badass kid, he was like kidnapped and he escapes, but first he kills Barlow, which was so funny because he hits him over the head, and I was like, get him! And then I was like, yeah. So now Susan's mom is like the new Barlow, and she has the shotgun and everything. But it was so funny because that like vampire came out of nowhere, and there's a window that's on the staircase. Yeah, and it's like the sun was coming through, and the vampire came out and bit Susan, and I'm like,
so it's like this. It's like, oh, if the sun is not directly to you, I'm like, this makes no sense.
No sense. Then why would they be in that dark ass basement?
Exactly.
Because that house had like no lighting, just cover the windows. Yeah. And then they could like walk around the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you transfer him in a box rather than just like him in the back of the truck.
Right.
It was a lot of like.
Some stuff didn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's really hard because I don't know if it was like that in the book.
I don't remember.
There you go. So maybe it wasn't. You know, maybe it was more specific. Sure. But there was a lot of contradictions in it. You know, and when shit like this happens, I'm like, I lose interest and I start kind of like laughing and kind of mocking it. I was like, this is not a line.
A little cheesy.
You know, it's super fucking cheesy. Also, like, Ben, you know she's a fucking vampire, and you're gonna follow her to save her?
Well, they're in love. He met her like a day ago.
There you go.
They went to the drive-in together, so it's like he's gonna marry her.
How did that happen so fast? That's what I'm saying. It was so rushed.
Yeah.
You know, and in that one, where they come get him, and she's like behind the door naked. I was like, oh, they're actually sleeping together. Yeah. You know, it was like there was no build up to their relationship. You know, and where have I seen that actor?
The woman who plays Susan?
Ben.
So that's Lewis Pullman. That's Bill Pullman's son. He looks like his dad.
Yes.
He's been in something else. I feel like it was like a Western or something.
Okay.
Like Yellowstone. Or
yes.
One of those, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was good. I thought he was good. Parts. Not like 100%. But I thought out of most people that he probably did a little bit better.
I mean, Susan.
No.
I don't even know who she is. I feel like I've
either.
seen her too. Like I've seen her in small roles.
It was a good cast because even the guy who was the teacher and he had that guy Mike who was like digging the grave and he gets bit and he's like sitting in the bar and he's like, why don't you stay at my house? And I'm like, hell no, I would not do. I know it's a small town and it's like help your neighbor. I must not be that neighborly because I'd be like, dude, you need to go home and rest and not
is that what Jesus was claiming to like love thy neighbor? Because I wouldn't love my
so
neighbor.
That you get bit? Hell no.
Yeah.
Well, I love him, Bill Camp, because he was in Night of with Riz Ahmed.
Oh right.
And he was just in Presumed Innocent.
I also think he was great.
He was good.
Also the voice. When he was like in the bar and he was just like, and then like suddenly his like voice was normal. That was so fucking creepy. I want to say this also, like this movie was cheesy and a lot of contradictions, but I screamed like 4 times.
There were some good jump scares.
Yes, yeah, and
I'm chicken shit, but they were good jump scares. There were a couple parts and I was like, ah.
Yeah, yes,
so
yeah,
it does the job. It does the job for sure.
But I do think like not everyone was really good. The teacher, I'm like, I also didn't understand the concept of like some characters being so involved without having anything to do with it.
Like who?
Like the teacher.
I guess he only got involved because of what happened with Mike.
Yeah, but still, like at some point they show him at the school. It's like
in the beginning.
Yeah, like
I guess they're like introducing his character and that he like knows these kids.
But then there's no build up. I kept thinking the whole time, why is the teacher here? Why is the realtor
so
here?
that he could be the one to be like vampires.
Not like a researcher. Not like I study mythology. Like none of that. A fucking school teacher. And he's like
going through his books. He knew some stuff about vampires, apparently. Well, because he was the one who had the cross.
Yeah.
Which I did think it was interesting that it would like start glowing.
It would light up.
That was cheesy as fuck.
I was like, they're at a rave.
I love it, but
cross.
Blasphemy. I do.
Blast them.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But when the priest has his, right? And then Straker comes and he's like, oh, you think you're a man of faith? And then his cross, like, loses the glow. And I'm like, but everybody else believes, that's why they're... Like, I was really confused with that. And I'm like, if anybody's still going to have their faith, it's going to be a priest, even if he questions it, you know?
And it was like...
That's what made it glow?
It was also like a priest that has gotten in trouble before.
Right, and he's got like a drinking problem and whatever.
But it was like, it was just so superficial, everything. Nothing had depth in it, you know? So give me a priest that is hammer at the bar, you know? And that you got to sober him up and explain to him, this is what happened. You can't have any other fucking drink because you gotta help us right now.
He was very quick to be like, you don't have to explain any of this crazy shit to me, I know. And it's like, well, you should question it a bit. Like, I know they deal with exorcisms and the devil, but that's not necessarily equivalent to vampires.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would have liked a little bit of resistance, you know, to be like, I don't believe you. Because right away he was like, yes, vampires. Because that is always the obvious answer, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, there was a lot to be desired, but also at the same time it was almost 2 hours.
Really?
Yes, it was 1 hour and 53 minutes.
Oh, okay.
See, for me, I thought the first hour was a little boring. I wasn't really into it. And then the second half, it did speed up, like once people started turning.
I'm trying to think if I felt like it was boring. I can't even recall.
So, I mean, it must have been. It did make an impression on you.
Yeah.
You weren't into it.
Also, like at the beginning, like you have this like guy. It's the 70s, and you have guy with like a fucking top hat, you know, like with an accent, and you know, and it's like with like an antique store, but they're not giving you anything.
Yeah, no background.
Nothing.
Like, I want a little bit more. Like, is he from Romania or Transylvania?
Or also
like
he's been alive for 100 years,
right?
And he looks like this.
And that's the thing too, like physically how he looked. Like I wish that he had like
He's
really
an
long,
amazing
gross
actor.
fingernails, or just like something about him that made him gross.
Yeah, and he's a really good actor.
He's an excellent actor.
Like
but within the first 5 seconds, when he's in the store talking to the whatever proprietor that was, I laughed. Like it just felt cheesy to me. The dialogue was not that great. Like I understand as an actor you can only do so much with a script.
Yeah.
But considering he is so good, I was like,
you can't run away. You have to fight back.
I'm going after them. You can't stop me.
Oh my god! It's like, shut up. You're 8.
He's 11 3/4.
All right. Fuck. But that's what I mean. It's like these things. I don't know. It just felt. It felt like a cheesy movie, you know. And I hate that because Stephen King is great, you know.
Yes.
And not all his books are good.
No.
But his books are dark.
Right. He's the king of horror.
Yeah, like he can bring scary in.
Yeah.
So I had higher expectations.
Right.
I actually keep thinking that I did not look up the Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't think I should, because you did look up.
I can now. I will if you want me to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think it was a great movie. I think it was really, it lacked everywhere.
Yeah.
Performance-wise. But then again, like, it's true what you said, that the writing wasn't up to par. So it's, you know, let's give the actors the benefit of the doubt too.
Right.
But they weren't there. The script wasn't there. The plot could have been there. We all watched Midnight Mass by
See, that's what I was thinking. Like that to me is how you do vampire.
That is vampire. Yes.
So fucking good.
I think his name is like
Flanagan. Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan.
Yes.
Yeah. His Midnight Mass is vampire, and it's that too. It's religion. It's you know
have all the elements too.
All
you have
the
a
elements.
priest, you have like a love relationship. You have you have it all.
Everything, and the character that is the fucking vampire.
Right.
You know, so that is a vampire story.
Yes.
You know, so I felt like it lacked so much depth in it, and it's disappointing because I was looking forward to it. You know, I've heard about this movie for a while, not because of the new one, but because of the old ones.
Right, and I swear I had heard that this was in the works like a while ago.
Okay.
And like they were gonna remake it, and I was like, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? So I feel like this has sort of been a long time coming.
Okay.
With this. So, but also that being said, it's like I understand that there's a lot involved with making a movie and everything, but when it takes so long to do something and then like this is the end product too, like it's a little disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you think that the actual vampire Straker was like scary? Do you think he was frightening? Do you think he was creepy?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also feel like the setup of him coming out always was. I didn't find him creepy when he was at the drive-in.
Okay.
You know,
like the flying.
When he was in the basement, I was like, he's creepy.
Yeah.
You know, when it was in like really dark settings, but then like he's just like standing there looking at all these cars, you know, and you know with the light shining through him, like the light from the projector.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, you know, it was bad. I'm so sorry to tell you guys that we do not recommend this.
I think it was like short clips of him. Like if you just saw him really fast.
Yeah.
Like there was the one part with the teacher when they were in the basement and he tells him, Mark, run. And then he, like, the light goes on. And
yes.
he's there. I jumped.
Yeah, the dark
like, oh,
ones.
shit.
The really dark
And then he bites him and then,
him,
yeah.
the teeth, and he also looks
right.
a little bit like Voldemort.
A little bit, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Harry Potter.
More pale. Definitely more white, not as gray. And he had a nose. But yeah, a little Voldemortish.
It was giving Voldemortish.
Giving Voldemort.
Yeah, I was like, this is not as good as I expected it to be.
It was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Because like I said, it was a long time coming and I was kind of looking forward to it. And like, okay, let's see how this is. And
it's been a long time coming, but yeah, I don't think it's a good movie. You know, Stephen King, he also like produced.
Yeah, he usually has a hand in his stuff, whether it's like a producer.
He's a millionaire, so it's like he's like,
oh my gosh.
He's probably like, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah.
He's still getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
He still writes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he just came out
and
with a book
I
of
think
short
he's
stories.
like one of those people that he's like, some of them are gonna be good, some of them are not gonna be good.
Right.
You know, like I don't think he cares that much. So.
No, I think also like as an author, it's probably exciting to get your book turned into
a
movie or
yeah.
TV series. So the fact that this is like the third or fourth time that this is happening, he's probably like, again? Great.
And it's like the visual, like, oh, what you wrote and you described in your head, you've seen it with your eyes.
Yeah. And also like each director's interpretation too.
Yeah.
Because like each one is gonna be different in some way.
Yeah.
So it's probably fascinating. But yeah, a little.
Yeah, it fell flat, guys. As a person that likes scary movies, good ones,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like a cheesy, scary movie, you can definitely
a
watch
couple
it.
good jump scares.
There were jump scares for sure, because I did scream like I would say like around 4 times. I was like, ah!
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like.
So I feel like if you want to turn the lights off, hang out at home, grab a bowl of popcorn.
And like with friends, you know?
Yeah.
Like you'll be scared, you have a good laugh.
Yes, exactly.
A great
Perfect.
combo.
We love that actually. That's perfect. That's how I like it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll comment in between, you won't miss a thing.
No. No, you won't. That's true. You'd be like, oh wait, I have to go to the bathroom. You come back, what happened? Nothing.
Oh god.
They're still going after Straker, you're fine.
Man, that's true. Okay, so tell us what the Rotten Tomatoes score is.
Do you want me to do fun facts first?
Oh right, yes,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
We do have fun facts.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Tan, tan, tan.
There's actually
That's
a
actually
few.
not the sound of fun facts.
That's the spooky season fun facts music. Dun dun dun. Okay. So the writer for this was Gary Doberman. He's actually, I think he was responsible for It.
Okay.
And It Chapter 2, like the newer one. So
Okay.
he's actually like
done
some Stephen King before, which I liked the It movies.
100%.
Those were good. And listen, like that is a good book, but a little sad that he couldn't turn Jerusalem's Lot and Salem's Lot.
And you know
better,
that
but
I feel like It too was too long.
It.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he should have like shortened it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although that book is like 1,100 pages. It's insane.
It is really long.
Okay, so writer Gary Doberman told Den of Geek in June 2019, so it has been a long time, that his goal with the new version of Salem's Lot was to make vampires frightening again. He wants to get away from the sexier, more romanticized undead that have infested pop culture for much of the past quarter century, thanks to everything from, and he says, Interview with the Vampire to Twilight to the Vampire Diaries.
And I don't think like it was romantic in Interview with a Vampire at all.
Right. I disagree with the Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Like, I still think that it's scary.
So creepy, yeah.
But Twilight and Vampire Diaries, I will definitely agree with that.
I didn't even watch Vampire Diaries.
Me
Did not look good.
Nope. Sorry if you're a fan.
Oops.
As Ben drives through the town during and just after the opening credits, which, by the way, that song that they play at the beginning and the end, it's like, don't come creeping around.
Yeah, what was that?
Cheesy as fuck. That
It
didn't
was
help.
super
Like, that
cheesy.
sets the tone, too.
Yeah.
I get the lyrics, sure, but...
Guys, we keep telling you to come to us before you make them movies. We will give you the right direction because it is true. That setup of that song, I was like, I feel like they were trying to be creepy, but it wasn't creepy enough. It became a fucking comedy moment.
Right.
I kept saying that. I was like, what is this fucking song singing about?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, I want to know what that's... No,
I
it
would
was
rather
like,
just have instrumentals.
yes, thank you.
Like
Thank
Psycho.
Thank
you
you.
know, but just give me some strings or something. I'll take that. That feels more ominous than spooky, spooky, spooky doo. I don't know what it was.
Ookie dookie doo.
I wish. I'm gonna make that song actually.
Spooky ookie dookie doo.
By Crazy.
Deep ass lyrics.
Hey, I'm deep. Okay, so he's driving through the town in the opening credits. He drives by a mechanic shop where there is a red 1957 Plymouth Fury that was being worked on. It's the same car from Christine, which is another Stephen King.
Oh, I remember the cover of that book actually.
Right, yeah, so I think that was made in like the 80s. So.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Amongst a survey of its users, Fandango ranked this adaptation as the #1 most anticipated horror movie of 2023. Yeah.
Wow.
I would like to talk to those people now that it's come out.
Yeah, Fandango. I actually use them to buy my movie tickets.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, Fandango, you hire us. You know, we should use their hashtag now that I'm thinking about it. I forgot about Fandango.
You come through. In March 2024, Variety reported that the film will release on Max, which it did, and it received a theatrical release in the United Kingdom and Ireland.
Why?
Random as fuck. I have no
Do you
idea.
think they were laughing at us?
Probably, but I think they laugh at us anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, they probably
That's
think
true.
Americans are crazy as shit anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of adaptations, this is the second feature film adaptation of the novel.
Okay.
Previously, it has been made into a television series. So the first time was in 1979,
Okay.
and then which was directed by Tobe Hooper, who did The Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist.
Okay.
Then there was a follow-up in 1987 called A Return to Salem's Lot, which was created for the big screen. And then there was another TV miniseries in 2004. So that starred Rob Lowe as Ben Mears and Donald Sutherland as Straker. Like, if you look at the cast, it's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And also for the listeners, the original Salem's Lot, it is on HBO too. Because I saw it. I saw that it was like under it. So if you do want to watch it, you know, I haven't. Did you see it? Have you seen it?
No.
I have not seen it. So maybe I'll watch it to like compare. I'm scared.
1979, like that's got to be pretty cheesy. If this is cheesy,
I know, but think of The Shining. That was done a long ass time ago.
That's true.
And I did read the book of The Shining before I watched the movie. And I'll never forget being so disappointed at the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a piece of shit. The Shining is top book. Like, it's so well written.
Right.
Everything. And then in the movie, I was like, this is missing so many things. Because in the book, you kind of like fall in love with the dad's character and how much he loved his family.
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie, you don't get any of that. It's like a switch out of nowhere, and you hate him right away. In the book, you have a hard time hating him because you know who he was before.
Right.
Before going to the hotel.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, the movie kind of sucked compared to the book.
That, and then also I think because it's from his perspective,
Mm-hmm.
that internal,
those internal monologues that we had too.
like his thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you're reading them, so you see the transformation and like how the hotel is like overtaking him.
Yeah.
So I think that was harder to translate into a movie.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Also, the fact that they killed a black guy too, and he didn't die in the book.
Yeah.
Rude.
Super rude. Can we talk about how the black people always go away first?
Yeah. I know.
In this one that we just watched, the whole black family gone.
I know. Although Mark did survive.
He did, but they didn't believe his child.
I know.
He was like, "We gotta go," and they're like, "No, we don't."
I also think that that's just like how parents are in general a lot of the time. Is that
parents back then too,
especially back then,
yeah,
they didn't believe their kids.
Never. How did we survive?
On a hope and a prayer. All right. At about 57 minutes in, so when we see Mark, he's in this is like after Danny comes to his room and is like, open the window, let me in, with his like beady red eyes. And then he shoos him out of his house and he's under the covers and he's looking at the comics.
Yeah.
So the first comic book that he's looking at, that was from DC Comics Weird Mystery Tales Volume 1, number 16, and that was from March of 1975. None of the 3 stories in that issue relate to vampires, but the series is about supernatural occurrences.
Oh, okay.
Then the second one he reads is from DC Comics House of Secrets, Volume 1, number 122, which hit the stands in May of 1974.
Okay.
So at least it was like time period accurate.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like I feel at least they were sticking with 74, 75, which is like basically I guess when it takes place, which is good. So speaking of the 2 films that they were showing at that drive-in, one was The Drowning Pool that was showing at 7 p.m. and Night Moves was at 9 p.m. and both of them were released in 1975.
Oh, interesting. I love those facts.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, this I thought was interesting. So this can relate to the book a little bit. So when Father Callahan gets attacked, and then we finally see his body, and there's blood around his mouth. He's the only one that has that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is in reference to the novel, which I had like totally forgotten about this, but in the novel, Barlow, he forces Callahan to drink his blood, which is tainted.
Oh, interesting.
Right. So that means that he can't go on holy ground. So he can't go to the church or anything. His blood is tainted, like vampire blood or whatever.
Yeah.
Making him a broken man, and he leaves.
Okay.
So in the book, he leaves. He stays alive. And then whereas in basically like every other adaptation, he gets killed off, which I think is interesting. They're like, kill the priest.
It's also like when you're getting casted as an actor and you're like, fuck, I'm the priest. You know?
Dang.
Like, fuck, you're that person.
Yeah.
He's gonna die. Yeah.
I mean, Kurt Barlow's characterization in the film is based on how the character was portrayed in Salem's Lot in 1979, was having an inhuman appearance resembling the character of Count Orlok in Nosferatu, a symphony of horror from 1922.
Wait, which by the way, Nosferatu is coming out, I think, next month. I don't know if it's the movie theaters or to like
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, which is so funny. I'm sorry I interrupted
No,
your fun fact. So
No, you're good.
when I was little, my stepdad used to always scare my sister and I. And we didn't get it, but he would say like, if we would like go to the living room by ourselves and nobody had turned the lights on, it was like nighttime, he would be like, quick, Nosferatu is gonna come get you. We will run away, but we pictured Nosferatu in our head like whoever, you know, a fucking monster,
right.
you know. And as I got older, he explained to me that was a vampire.
I don't care what it is. This one's gonna get me, I'm gone.
When the announcement of that movie came on, I told him, I like said it to him, and I was like, oh shit, Nosferatu is coming to the movies. He was like, oh my god, I can't believe you remember that. And I'm like, yeah, my sister and I were traumatized.
Yeah.
Because whatever that was gonna come get us always.
Yeah.
What a core memory.
Dads.
Yeah, literally.
Oh boy. In the novel, Barlow resembles a pale but ordinary human with unusually long and slender fingers and red glowing eyes, and is quite talkative.
Okay.
See, so it's like kind of creepy. So I'm like, I kind of wanted more of that.
Yeah.
But.
And you know, you're telling me it was an hour and 55. I did not even notice that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was shorter. But then I think of like, how could they have given me more? But there were moments that I was like, this is, you know, we've seen so many good shows and good movies that they like make you fall in love with the characters in like 2 minutes. So you know, that they failed in that. You know, like it probably didn't need to be longer. It just needed to be better told. You know, so
yeah. It's like picking and choosing, because it's like some things could have been drawn out more, other things should have been condensed.
Some things didn't need to be in it
there.
at all.
Yeah.
Like that fucking that we keep going back to the drive-in. That was so long.
Yes.
I was like, why are we still here?
Really long.
So long. That took so long. And the realtor scene too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the drive-in scene at the end.
When they meet.
Oh, at the beginning.
Yeah, I was like, why are they taking this conversation is taking too long. Even when he meets her and she's like, oh, there's this place.
Right.
Everything could have been like half the time. Everything.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because my last fun fact, the ending at the drive-in is heavily foreshadowed when Susan tells Ben, you'll find the whole town here most nights it's open. Later, the whole town ends up at the drive-in after they become vampires, which is where they sleep in the cars, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This element is also foreshadowed earlier when a group of people are shown sneaking into the show by hiding in a car trunk, and Susan refers to it as a rite of passage. So that whole scene is supposed to be foreshadowing, like what happens at the end, which is why he has the idea to go to the drive-in.
Yeah, yes. And let me tell you, it wasn't even those parts. It was more like just like them two, their conversations.
I thought she was so boring.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand the love story.
Yeah. Do you have the scores?
I do. So Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter.
Yeah.
That's them.
That's
right?
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They gave it a 46.
Which I think it's generous
Yeah.
compared to. You know why? Because they gave like 50 something to the Menendez brothers.
That's true.
So I'm
That was
like,
way better.
That was so much better.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And then what did the audience say?
The audience gave it a 40%.
Yeah, I would go with that.
Yeah.
So
I think that makes more
for
sense.
the first time, for the listeners, for the first time we do agree with the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, because most times we're like, what are people thinking? That was great. And then they give it a real score. But yeah, this time.
Wow.
And then, real quick, IMDb gave it a 5.7.
Yeah. I mean, IMDb is just like people.
Yeah. But
You know.
still, but considering if it was 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, 5.7 is still kind of high, I think.
Oh, 100%.
Too high.
Yeah, too high. I think it would have been like 4 stars. And like, no offense to Stephen King, we both love Stephen King. Like,
Yes, he has some incredible books.
I'm still waiting for that Joyride movie. it's Joyride, right? The one about so it's like this guy that ends up working through the summer at this theme park.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That is a great book to make a movie.
And it's short, too.
And it's short, so you can go deep with the characters. I am still waiting for someone to say, like, hey, well, let's make this movie.
Yeah.
Joyride is wonderful. Yeah. I fucking love that book.
That one
you
was
recommended
really good.
that book
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked it. So, book recommendations.
Yeah, that one was good.
And most of these books that are, you know, that are creepy are usually really fucking good. I feel like this movie was just like, it fell on its face.
Yeah,
Done. Not good at all.
Right.
So we recommend only if you want to have a few jump scares, which is what you said, and a couple of laughs.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a mix. If you're going in for the acting, I'm sorry.
No, this ain't gonna do it.
Turn around, go out.
Pull a U-turn.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out.
Right. No.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're just a person that do want to watch like scary movies just cause, yeah, just go ahead and watch it. Right. But if you're like a big critic when it comes to them, we do not recommend.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it at all.
Yeah. Woof.
Woof is right.
I just
Like, I didn't have high expectations, but I'm still
I
a little
did.
disappointed.
I did have high expectations because I remember watching the trailer and it was Joe that recommended this for us, and you know he loves really good scary movies, so
Yeah.
we were like, oh okay, you know,
Right. Yeah.
and I tried to not watch the trailer, so
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah,
Vampires.
and fucking patterns.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it for today.
That is it.
Oh man, first episode in person.
Beautiful.
Well, we're here in Orlando. We're gonna shit our pants in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Actually, no, my friends are gonna shit their pants. I'm gonna be laughing. The fact that everyone is here scared except for me.
I know.
I was telling Trey, I was like, you're gonna have to protect everyone. He's like, wait, no. He's like, you guys have to protect me. And I was like, I am the only one enjoying this right
You're
now.
going first. That's all I got.
It's fine.
We're sacrificing you.
I know. She's the first one.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we're excited about that, and we can't wait to tell you guys about it next week on next episode. I guess that's it for today.
That's it.
Good job, everyone.
Yay!
Okay, we'll talk to you all next week. Thank you for judging with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.